Now here's something simple. Here's something real simple that we wouldn't think that should be a problem. But the Lord is hearing everything. James 4:13. Go ahead.
Go to now, ye that say, tomorrow or tomorrow we will go into such a city.
Today or tomorrow. Go ahead.
And continue there a year.
And
buy and sell and get gain.
He said, now look, see, he had a lot of messages about this. James did. He said, go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we're going to go to such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. Verse 14.
Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow.
See, even that's out of line. You need to even check yourself when you get to talking like that. Like you just automatically know something. Yeah, I'm going to do this today, then tomorrow I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. He said you need to be conscious that you can be dead before that get here. You need to be conscious. That's what he's going to tell you. Go ahead. Whereas ye, verse 14, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. Go ahead.
For what is your life?
What is your life? Go ahead.
It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away.
See, he said your life is a vapor. He said, look, you need to keep things in perspective and get away from all the lofty and proud talk. You know, it don't mean you shouldn't try to make some plans. But you should be realistic and even watch your conversation when you're making plans that, hey, it's not totally up to me. Go ahead.
For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that.
See, he gave you the remedy. He said what you need to say, if the Lord will, especially if you call yourself already believing in the Lord. You definitely need to be doing. I can see somebody who don't know the Lord. Of course, they're not going to say that. But if you believe in the Lord, if you somebody that's call yourself serving the Lord, you definitely need to order your conversation this way. Definitely need to have your mind geared this way. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or do that. He said, even that's boastful with your mouth. Just bragging about what you're going to do. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what's going to happen. But go ahead.
But now you rejoice in your boasting. All such rejoicing is evil.
He said you rejoice in your boasting, and all such rejoicing is evil. See, that again, that's the way the world is. They don't stop to think about the Lord and where the Lord fit in at. But if you're going to be a servant of God, that's what you have to do. Go ahead, verse 17.
Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin.
See, the Bible tells you that all the time. That's why he says somewhere else, to whom much is given, much is required. Yeah, a lot of people in the street don't have a clue about the Lord. They don't know the stuff that we know out the Bible. And they can get away with saying some of this stuff. But you can't be around them and start talking crazy like them. Because I say it all the time, the Lord ain't going to let you off the hook. He's going to make it harder for you, because to whom much is given, much is required. Just like when I was young, I did a whole lot of foolish stuff. And the Lord done jammed me for a lot of it. But even younger people now who listen to the word, been brought up in the word, hey, you're going to have it harder than I had it, because I didn't have a clue then. So he said, verse 17, therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Okay, James, the first chapter. Just back up a couple of chapters. James 1. But this is a problem. I mean, in this problem, it started early on. That's probably one of the ways that children commit sin early. I'm talking about real early. I'm talking about babies start lying pretty quick. They do. They start lying pretty quick. That's why I know the Lord ain't playing when he said all have sinned. Automatically you born in sin because of mankind. So you can't get away from that. But even when you live just a little while, that tongue gets you right away. I bet you that's the first sin that get most children right off the bat. Because they've been to lie. You've been to call them and say, no, I didn't do it. In trouble already. 1.5 years old. James, the first chapter. James 1, see, that shows you how deadly the tongue is. James 1:19. But the Lord give you the remedy. He give you the answer to all things. You can overcome it and conquer it. You can put it in check. But you have to make that your business. Make that the priority. And don't think it don't matter what you say. And you can say anything. Don't just say what you feel. We all have to learn that. James 1:19. James 1:19. Okay, go ahead.
Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be slow to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath.
See, now.
Swift to hear.
Swift to hear, right. See, now he told you here, he gave you a key to handling the tongue. Keep it shut a lot of times. Just keep it on lockdown. He gave you the cue. He said, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear. See, and that's what a lot of us are not. Sometimes you could be in conversation, you don't hear what the other person said, they don't hear what you say because both of y'all are talking. You see people be running over each other talking. That's why I try to learn just to shut up. Okay, go ahead. What you say? Go ahead. He said, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Because that's what always, where the tongue ends up a lot of cases, talking some wrath. Snapping on somebody. That's where conversations end up a lot of times. And like I say, to show you, you got to really be careful because you don't even have to be trying to do. You could be doing what you're supposed to do, trying to mind your business, and somebody else will come from that direction. And before you know it, you've been and got back into your old habits. So you have to be careful. Somebody told me recently, a sister told me Wednesday night, but at least she realized she had crossed the line and was remorseful about it and repentant about it. She wasn't making it like it was okay. She was like, oh, I messed up today. She said, the woman just kept pushing me, and before I knew it, I was... See, you have to watch it. Go ahead, verse 20. That's why he says, slow to wrath. Go ahead.
For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God.
See, the wrath of man, we think we own something when we're going to put somebody in their place and we're going to say something. Look, you can't do nothing. That's why the Lord told Job. The Lord said, Job, if you so wise and you so smart, you're going to try to, be so right. Job was righteous, but he said, look, you ain't going to be more righteous than me. Just because I ain't answered you right away, you can't like you're going to condemn me because you so righteous. He said, Job, if you so righteous, I want you to get all the wicked and bind them and put them in their place. That's what I say all the time. Even if you put one person in their place, that's only one person. A whole lot of more people need to be put in their place. You can't even come close to that. So he said, the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. Wherefore what? Verse 21.
Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your soul.
See, we weren't going to read that, but he said, lay apart all that foolishness, all that excess foolishness, and humble yourself according to the word of God.